Hello everybody, Omni here again with another Comic-Con trailer, and this time around it's going to be for M. Night Shyamalan's Glass, which is a sequel to a great movie from the 2000s, one of his best movies in my opinion, which starred Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis. The movie was called Unbreakable. Essentially, it was a comic book movie without being in your face about being a comic book movie, until at least until the very end, where they kind of settle into these archetypes. Sam Jackson's character Glass is kind of that archetype where you have the brittle genius. His body's weak but his mind is strong, and he sees that as he elevates himself above society in that manner. And then you have Bruce Willis's character, who survives all of these outrageous incidents and eventually comes to the conclusion and realization that he is essentially indestructible, and takes on this persona of the hero, of the antithesis to Glass. So Glass has essentially been orchestrating these tragedies, if I can remember correctly, in order to weed out and find his perfect opponent, or his perfect opposite, his the Clark Kent to his Lex Luthor. And it's a movie that I definitely recommend checking out. It is not something that I expected to see getting a sequel, but they kind of snuck it in there. It's always been something that's been talked about, but they snuck this little drop, this little hint, this little tease that something like this might be coming up, when in Split, M. Night Shyamalan's movie that came out in 2016, starring James McAvoy as a person named Kevin, who was suffering from multiple personality disorder. Essentially, it kind of chronologues his struggle with these personalities and how he perceives himself. And you have no idea. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to spoil too much about it, but essentially, all the events of that movie, because that's both of these movies, I really think anybody that hasn't seen them should definitely go and check them out. This is something I'm looking forward to. Split, you don't even realize it's part of this universe. That's the thing about it. Like, it does nothing to acknowledge these previous movies until a scene just at the very tail end of the movie, where you see Bruce Willis's character in a diner, seeing the news of Kevin's. He sees an event on the news that has just happened towards the end of that movie. Basically, the whole finale of the movie gets broadcast on the news. We pan out and we see Bruce Willis's character, and you're just like, wait, what? These are in the same universe? So Split was essentially like a backdoor sequel to Unbreakable, and they took that. I guess that responded well and got this greenlit, and we're seeing the two original characters returning, with Kevin thrown into the mix, and I'm really excited to see how this all goes through, because this is a great movie back from when M. Night Shyamalan was still making great movies, when he was still hot off of The Sixth Sense and that whole little period before he kind of went down that rabbit hole of really happening type era. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and pull up this trailer and give it a watch. Sarah Paulson. Oh, I'd like that. Okay. Okay. Patricia.
David Dunn, the only person to survive that train wreck all those years ago. What do you do?
I'm in security.
Okay.
Have superpowers.
It's a feeling. Vision. I have to touch them.
You believe you are a protector.
Using the raincoat.
I have no question. There are 24 identities.
I'm Mary Reynolds.
Oh.
In that body with you.
The beast is coming any minute now.
See, like his range is so great in the role.
You are something more than human.
And yet, it is true.
Oh, this gives me some chills.
Break easily. I've had 94 breaks in my life.
But you have an extraordinary IQ.
Yeah.
This is the real world.
Oh, she's back. She was the protagonist, I would say, in Split.
Die with bullets.
Bruce Willis's character is weak to water because of where he's so durable, he just kind of sinks.
Been waiting for the world to see.
I wonder if they're going to spin this and if it's just in their heads or if it's just real. Because Kevin's belief.
That sounds like the bad guys teaming up.
Oh,
A lot of people are going to die. Don't do this. Are you ready?
Sam Jackson's getting Kevin on his side. I thought this was what was going to happen.
First name, Mr. Last name, Glass.
Yes. Okay. That was a good tease. Okay. I think that gives a good flavor for the movie. So James McAvoy's whole shtick with his multiple personalities is essentially they're trying to create a new personality called the Beast. At least because the premise of the movie kind of focuses around how the personalities, when he shifts in and between them, changes him not only mentally but physically. So some of them have more strength, some of them are stronger than the other ones, some of them are smarter, some of them are more attentive, reactive. It's all about how the mental chemistry of your brain reconfigures your body, which I don't know the exact science behind any of that or anything of that such, but essentially he goes through this transformation towards the end of the movie where he creates this new persona called the Beast, which is essentially a roided out monster, and you see him physically become that. He can bend metal bars. He heals almost immediately from wounds, and he's like you see in the trailer, just crawling on stuff in the ceiling. And I'm like, on the trailer, this is kind of like how I envision this whole thing going. I didn't think it was going to be some kind of weird three-way brawl between these characters, just because, you know, what's Glass going to do? I figured he was going to somehow manipulate Kevin into being his tool to get his revenge on Bruce Willis's character, or wreak havoc in his name or something along those lines. And that's essentially what we got there. That's at least the hint that I'm getting, or the flavor that I'm getting out of this trailer, and I'm excited. So it looks like Bruce Willis is going to have to put those powers to the test and see if he can stop both Glass and Kevin. I'm excited. I'm glad to see M. Night Shyamalan's not making schlocky movies anymore. Sorry, Red Letter Media, for stealing your word there. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. Second I heard that it was announced, I was thrilled. Shocked mostly, but thrilled to see that they're going forward with diving us back into this world. M. Night Shyamalan's been doing some better stuff here recently, especially with Split being the best movie he's made in a long time. I really thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Directing wise, it was great. Like I loved it. It was subtle, and James McAvoy really carried that movie and made it what it was. And that girl that played the main character in that was phenomenal as well, and I'm glad to see her back. Unfortunately, I don't remember her name. I know she's also, I think, in the New Mutants movie for X-Men. So she's definitely going somewhere at this point. It just seems like there's been this like little turnaround. Like he had The Visit, which was okay. It was better than any of his previous movies, but it seems like he's finally getting back in his groove, and that's something I'm actually happy for that, because, you know, feels bad, man, for it has to feel bad for all the flack he's been getting since, you know, his successes with, you know, Unbreakable, Signs, and The Sixth Sense, and then coming off of that into these movies that are just very poorly received and pretty much just looked at as jokes. Like, as a director, I would imagine that's pretty disheartening, at least if he paid attention to any of that. But anyway, I'm excited to see this. I can't wait for this to come out. Unfortunately, I gotta wait till January. But yeah, good trailer. But thank you all for stopping in. I got a couple more of these to do, and I will catch you all later.